building business 25, it's a new game. Everything is changing. The rules that have applied in the past are being rewritten. And you can rewrite them. That's the beauty. And so let's get to the juice. Building a business in 20 minutes. So what are some of the business ideas? I want to hear some business ideas that you have. Eddie. For disease? Okay. Okay, so using machine learning in the medicine world, basically, to find solutions to disease. Okay, I like that. Okay, so when I'm retired, these are the limiting beliefs that I hear oftentimes. Understand, okay, why? When I'm retired. Why not now? What's holding you back? Spend some time, think about it, reflect. And I think when it comes to this is the first part, is the ideation, right? So ideation, what I found useful is to start observing problems. Because sometimes people are like, okay, I need to start a business, or I want to start a business. What is a good business? And they're overthinking it. You need to really start developing the senses, like, what are things that are not working? What are things that are frustrating me, that are frustrating others? It's like, when I do this one, I have to always do it this way, or why could it not be done differently? Like, this is the perfect element for starting a business. So understand these friction points. This will give you a good indication. So now we say, so we cannot do it in 20 minutes, we need to do it in 5 minutes. So how would we start the business? So we have the ideation. So let's, what was your name? Let's start with Milena's idea. So we can summarize it as a consumer app that improves the parking situation for consumers here in Frankfurt, to keep it simple, to start with. It will show you where parking spots are available, where not, in order to help you find the right parking spot. So Kaiser, what is a good name for that?
I would go with something German.
Okay. Okay.
Best
Yes.
starting point.
Yes.
Park Buddy.
Park Buddy. Okay, I like it. And I think you mentioned two great elements. I think number one is understanding the local market, right? So here in Germany, I see that with many friends that are building business in Germany, is Germans oftentimes still prefer also working and doing business with Germans, right? And so there can be value in having a German name or something that at least a German person can also pronounce or gets pretty quickly. So let's use Park Buddy. I think it's a good one. It's actually, it's spot on because it incorporates the field, which is parking, and it's buddy, what means it's a support, right? It's a friend. So I like the name a lot. So what would you do now next? You say, okay, we have Park Buddy. What would you do? You need to see if it's available, right? Because maybe somebody else already has an app or something that's called Park Buddy. So what I would do is I would just Google, Park Buddy. And then see, okay, Miete oder vermiete deinen Parkplatz. So it's something in that direction, so already exists. So here we would say, let's maybe choose something else. That's basically how we can go through, say like, is there something that's already existing or not? Here it seems that somebody used the name, it's a good name. Let's assume, for simplicity, that nobody has used the name. So Park Buddy is available, nobody seems to use it, great, let's go. So what do we need to do now? Now we say, if we go back to the slides, is we need to make sure that, and we can also cross-check. So how I would do it is go to ChatGPT, ask some friends, get the pulse to see, is it a nice name? Sleep on it? How does it sound? Is it easy to pronounce? All of these elements. ChatGPT asks, look, this is the name I'm thinking. Are there any pros and cons? Can you also provide me 10 other names in that similar notion? Explain what the business is. We said a consumer app that helps you find a parking spot for the German market, focused on the Frankfurt region to start with. ChatGPT is your friend here. Then it says, okay, Park Buddy is great. Let's go for it. The next what you need to do is, or what I would do is, I would then already buy the domain. So then you have the domain. Where would you buy the domain? Do you know? Like, what are some of the sites? Yeah, so one is that I always use is Namecheap. There's Namecheap, GoDaddy, etc. So we go here, Namecheap.com, and again, this is real time. You can do After this class, you can go home, you can do it in 20 minutes yourself. Parkbuddy, so we say parkbuddy.com. Or we can even do .de, because we say it's for the German market. Let's see. It's taken. Again, somebody used it. So this is something I would then say, look, this is important also when choosing the name. It will always be like this. I founded multiple businesses. You like the name, but then the domain is not available. Do you switch the name? Do you choose a different domain? It's a bit kind of also the artsy part. There's no right or wrong. Let's say here, okay, maybe we still like the Parkbuddy. Maybe something else, Parkbuddy AI. Now everything is AI. Okay, perfect, Parkbuddy AI. Keep it simple. $80, we buy this. We have the domain. What do we do next? So what comes now? Next step is, we will think a bit more also, what is kind of the look and feel, right? Like what is the essence? I mean, here we know it's a consumer app, right? There's a difference between a consumer app than, for example, more of a B2B product, right? Which is maybe more sophisticated, maybe more professional, more clean. Consumer can be more playful, right? Think of Uber, think of Airbnb, etc. So think a bit about this one. Again, here ChatGPT is your friend. You can think about different concepts, different color guides, etc. Think something that you like. And then number 2 is, okay, create the landing page. So how would you, Sue, how would you create the landing page? You're not sure about. Maybe what is a landing page? Just a landing page is essentially like the homepage, the website. When you put parkbuddy.ai in your browser, what is the page that you're getting, right? And this is essentially your website in simple terms. So how do we create the landing page? Time is running, so we need to get done, right? We need to get the business going. So where we would go now is we go to Bold. This is basically similar to Lovable. So there is Bold, there is Lovable, there are others. I like Bold a lot, so I would also encourage you, check out Bold, but Lovable is similar. It's a European one, so we want to support the European ecosystem. We go to Bold. What do you want to build? Okay. What do we say? Consumer app that helps find parking spots in Frankfurt, focused on the German market, starting with Frankfurt and potentially, oh no, we don't even have to say that. German market, it's name, exactly the name is, what do we say, Parkbuddy, and domain is, what we say, and contact is hello@parkbuddy.ai. Please create a nice landing page. Obviously it can be improved, right? You can do with ChatGPT, you can have a nice prompt, you can say, this is the age group, this is the customer, this is like some references that I like. But again, let's keep it simple. Let's see what Bold can do, right? Because we need to get the business going. Customers are waiting. They're still stuck without finding the parking spots. We need to solve that. So obviously, it will take a moment, 1 to 3 minutes. Sometimes you have to adjust a little bit. But the idea is that it gives you something that you can work with. So let's see if we have the forfeit effect, if it's not working, but I have a good feeling. I think it will work. And this is why I'm saying, this is like why the game is changing. So in the past, I would have to hire a web developer to create me the website, to do everything. It's like, okay, can you put the logo there? Can you put this here? And the person would then have to create it, right? Would have to write the code. Most of the websites for startups, they do it most of the time in Webflow. You can also take note if you want to go the traditional route, you can do it with Webflow. Nowadays, there's a tool which is called Framer, which is very good, which is like a more intuitive version, more user-friendly. You can use that. But really, the AI tools, they are changing the game. Bold, Lovable, and they were starting within the last 12 months. So there's no advantage. It's new for everybody, Like if I'm at home trying to figure out how it works with Bold, Professor Hacketal, any of you, there is no advantage that I'm having, right? And this is so empowering, I would say, for anybody here that's like, okay, Mai wants to start a business. He said, I have an interesting idea. I want to test it. Okay, let's bring it to life. Let's give it another minute or two. So it will create the landing page. And what I would do is, I would use then the landing page to assess appetite. Because maybe you think, oh, it's a great idea. How often does it happen that you say, I love this idea. This will be a success. But then in the end, people don't really need it. Or there are certain constraints that you haven't thought about. So the landing page is a great way for you to see if there's actually appetite. Put it out. Say like, here, this is my product. Do you like it? What do you think? Is it interesting? And this is what you do to assess appetite. And then once you have assessed appetite, you say, okay, there's something that's interesting. Okay, let's really build it. What does it mean building? Okay, what do I need for that? Do I want to set up a company? Here in Germany, you would do an UG, right? Or if you have, let's say, 20K Stammkapital, you would do GmbH. US LLC, UK Limited. Set it up, also not rocket science. And you have a business. You have your first startup. And obviously there can be like, 1 or 2, 3 other elements to it. And it's like, okay, do you get maybe somebody else involved as a co-founder, etc.? There are nuances to when you want to raise some capital. Like what are certain resources that you need? But this is already the spiel. Let's take a look what it did. Yes. Yeah, that's the question, as you say, like, is it then the right idea? But the point is now we have in 5 minutes, we've created a landing page that you can deploy today and where you can send it to your friends. We say like, look, I was here today in class. There was this guy, Stefan, was speaking about entrepreneurship. And I actually have here my first business. What do you think? Send it to your parents. Say, look, what do you think? It's a good business idea. You can do it yourself. Bold, new, doesn't cost you anything. Only when you need more credits. But this is empowering and this is changing the game. You have to understand, this is like, it's not just, okay, now AI and people are speaking about AI. This is like, everything is changing. And this is something that, again, and I've not touched it. I haven't even said what kind of text. You can refine it. So again, I just want to leave it also with this one to say, look, the times are changing. For you as somebody that wants to create something, there are no limits. And this is something that's really empowering. So I would say as a little exercise, maybe when you go back home, write down for yourself, what are 3 ideas that you find interesting? And not, what does somebody else say is interesting? What do you find interesting, Fahad? Is it the wine shop? Okay, perfect. How would it look like? Bold.new, let's create a wine shop. See how it looks like. How does it feel? Send it to people. So, yes. Okay, so let's break it down. When you say you don't know how, what do you not know here? I like it. You're speaking like a venture capitalist. I like it. So this is, it's good to also play the devil's advocate to say, why could it not work? Ask yourself and ask also your friends, say, look, give me some feedback here. Why do you think will this not work? And these are valid points. And there is a reason also why most of the startups don't succeed, because you're fighting against the odds, right? Startup it's innovation. It's doing something new, something fresh, something that wasn't there before. So if you just do something that was there, it's not innovative, right? And so this is the element for you, is to really think. And again, ChatGPT can be a good friend. What are some of the routes that I need to consider for this? Like, what are some regulations that may be different that I need to overcome to bring this to life, right? So this is, a starting point to see if there's appetite. I like that because this will show you, like, you want to do a distribution for fashion brands that you bring from Southeast Asia here to Germany, right? You can try that. Boom, seize their appetite, put it out. And of course, you have to put some work. I would be, if you can build, this is building a startup in 15 minutes, not building a successful startup in 15 minutes. And so the point is that to make it a success, there will be a lot of obstacles, right? But I think that's why you should also spend then the time and learn. Use the tools, get the mentors, get the people that know about the space. Find out who's knowledgeable about parking spaces in Frankfurt. You know, like there will be some people that know, right? Also from the Behörden, etc. So it's a very good point, right? And it's not that everything that you come up with in the first minute will be a success, but it will. But starting this process, think about ideas, testing it out, speaking with people about it, will be very helpful for you if you want to be an entrepreneur.